You ain't got no problem, Jules. I'm on the motherfucker. Go back in there and chill them niggas out. And wait for the wolf, who should be coming directly.
You sending the wolf?
Oh, you feel better, motherfucker?
Shit, Negro. That's all you had to say.
Hello.
All right.
Let's get started. So, welcome to Life as It Happens. This is episode 2, and I have brought many different people, entertainers, comedians, actors, rock band people, metal people, reggae artists, singers, writers, and things of that nature. But today, I have fuck that. I have literally my oldest living friend.
All right.
That I've had the entire time, and I can actually say, not a lot of people can say this and really mean it, but I brought the devil himself to come and be on this podcast. I had to one up myself somehow, you know. So this is my best friend, cousin, brother. From when it hits 2020, it'll officially be 30 years that I know you.
I think it'd be a little bit longer, but yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, shit.
That's a long ass time.
Wait, we're old are we? Like 35?
Yeah, we're 35. So I met you when we were like 4 or 5 years old. So yeah, 30 years, bro.
Wow.
And, you know, a lot of you haters out there will be like, well, so the fuck what? I have friends that I've known all my life, all this other stuff. Excuse me. But what's great about it is that coming up, he's one of the very, very few people that lived a parallel experiences that I lived through as well. And we both been shot at. We both survived a lot of, you know, we both came up in the heyday, I would say, kind of the heyday of ganglands, of gang days in LA. From, was it?
We went through the riots together, the Rodney King stuff.
Yeah, when you couldn't walk down, or it's like every 2 blocks, there was a different gang running, you know, every single block. So it was like, you know, I'm not gonna name any, you know, any real gangs, you know, for whatever reason. We protect the innocent here, by the way. So anything, just like every single time that I protect all my guests, any single time, I will tell you, he will tell you we are 35, I am 65, and we've known each other for 130 years, and all kinds of shit, right? And everything that we say or we do is alleged. You can contest it and say, oh, well, they're making it up. Yes, we are making every single thing up, because we're not trying to catch a fucking case at 35 years old for shit we done did when we were 2 years old. Allegedly. Y'all can't prove shit. The glove don't fit? You're full of shit. So, yes. So we came up, and not in the soft ass era of like, we're gonna take you guys back, right? So it would be around, I guess, the 90s.
Well,
not around, but it's in the 90s, right? We were in elementary school. We met in elementary school, and to paint the picture, it's if you stand a gangster right now, that's, you know, what you would call a gangster right now in this time, you would have to change his pant size about maybe 5 or 6 sizes bigger.
a little bit bigger, yeah.
You would have to change his fucking ugly ass Yeezys that look like fucking homeless ass shoes to Cortez's. He wouldn't have some tight ass shirt. He would have a white creased up shirt, ironed. Back then, everybody, you could be you could sell crack out of your mom's house, but ironed your fucking shirt. You never walked out of your shirt wrinkled, because that was a big violation. Like, you couldn't be a gangster and, you know, not take care of yourself properly. Just, you know, kind of the irony of that, where you're like, you know. Everybody, for most part, I think we got in the era where it was a 50-50 thing, where not all gangsters were bald, but some of us had hair.
You had the high fades, military cuts.
Yeah, everybody had that.
Bangs were big back then too.
Yes.
Bangs.
Oh yeah, the bangs.
Explain the bangs. I shouldn't.
I don't know. Yeah, it's basically.
It's what it sounds like, guys.
Yeah, it's exactly. You might be asking like, wait, isn't that a female haircut? Yes, it was, but we made this shit gangster, and if you said otherwise, we'd punch you in the fucking mouth. So we made bangs gangster. This was around the time Eazy-E was coming up, and Tupac was still alive.
Wow.
Biggie hadn't been stupid enough to come to LA and got shot after he was warned not to come over here. By the way, to me, it's still like the funniest fucking thing, where people told him, don't come to LA because you're going to get killed. And he came here to promote, I'm going back to back, bah, bah, bah. And that was it. He didn't even finish the hook. He just got killed. And allegedly by our LA's finest sheriff department. Somewhere in the Wilshire district? I don't know. Somewhere. But, yeah. And this is where the era where Rodney King got pulled over, got his ass beat, and it was no business of ours, but Mexicans still fucking rioted, and we fucking set the city on fire because we weren't gonna take that shit regardless. And there was martial law. There was they got put into place, which meant if the police caught your ass on the street, walking on the street after, was it 8 o'clock?
Sure.
I think it was 8 o'clock,
Sure.
somewhere 8 or 7 o'clock, they would arrest you or they'd gun you down. So this is the part of LA that we grew up, and we were kids. We were little kids. We're soaking all this up. And, you know, this is the beginning of it. This is where, you know, we came up looking at all this stuff and, you know, kind of soaking in the game, and it prepared us for, you know, 97, 98 when we hit middle school. But before that, it was just, you know, it was gangs and Power Rangers. It was that balance.
Right.
And then once we hit middle school, then, you know, that's when the real stuff started.
That shit got real. When the fights started, the riots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. The middle crew. I'm going to call it the middle crew because it was middle school and it was our crew. It consisted of what? Like 15, 20 people?
Yeah, we were pretty deep for a bunch of dumbass kids.
Yeah. Right? Who was it? It was me, you, Schoolboy, Crazy. Then it was Blondie.
Oh, yeah, the girls too.
Yeah. Thumbelina. What was Thumbelina's other half? I forgot her name.
Maria.
Maria. Well, she didn't have a nickname, but
Yeah,
we're just gonna call her Maria. There's a bunch of Marias, so you know.
Maria everywhere.
Yeah, if you know, you know. If you don't know, then you don't know.
Yeah.
Then there was
Crazy.
Trigger. No, was it Trigger?
Trigger.
The guy who was dating Blondie.
Sure.
You don't remember her?
I remember Blondie.
Clip?
Clip. Yeah.
Clip? Oh, there you go, Clip. I don't know why we call him Clip, but we call him Clip. Then there was a Dreamer. Let's see who else.
Well, we were all dreamers.
Dreamer. There was Dusty. There was what the hell was his name? I forgot his name. His name was his government name was Alejandro Miguel or something like that. I forgot what the hell it was. There was like 3 Miguels, so everybody was.
A couple, yeah.
Cheesy. There you go,
Moreno.
Cheesy, Moreno, Blackie,
Blackie.
Little Blackie.
Yeah.
Who else? There was a lot of people. We can't remember everybody. if you listen to my podcast, I'm sorry if I don't if I didn't mention you. Just we'll eventually mention you in a story or whatnot.
Man,
But
I barely remember things from 2 weeks ago, man. So
yeah,
it's tough.
it's difficult to
I was high
remember
too.
all
I
that
was high
stuff. Yeah.
at the time.
So let's see. What did our day consist of in middle school?
Well, to be honest, in middle school, I think we were still kind of good in a sense because we were in school.
We did.
we did go to school. We went to class. We just didn't do much work. And then our dumbasses used to hang out right next to the Armenians.
Oh, right.
Right. By that tree at King.
Yeah, the palm tree.
Mm-hmm. But next to the auditorium outside.
Yeah.
And yeah, shit didn't go well for us there.
No, I think we picked the worst spot. No, it wasn't the worst spot, but it was just, we were, back then, it was like a lot of Hispanic kind of bias. So, like,
Hispanic Armenian wars were big.
yeah, it was
then.
like 10, it wasn't anything personal. It was just, I think we were kind of fighting a fight that wasn't ours. It was like the older generation had problems with each other. And so it just kind of filtered down to us, where it was like we didn't know why we didn't get along with them. We just didn't.
We just didn't.
It was just a big group of Hispanic kids, and then 10 feet from us, their hangout was a bunch of like Armenian kids, and so.
But honestly, the way I remember it is we didn't start shit. I think the Armenians always came at us, talking shit in their language.
Yeah, I think it was just like a dirty look, and then it's like, hey, what was that dirty look about?
Well, yeah, growing up.
Yeah, and then it's like, well,
the fuck you looking at?
Yeah, it was like, what the fuck you looking at? Well, what the fuck are you looking at?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at you looking at me, motherfucker. Like, what's up? And then inevitably, we were the ones that were more short-tempered than them, so we'd end up punching someone in the face. And then once one person swung, everybody started swinging. And I mean...
And that was the rule. That was the rule growing up. That was your
Yeah.
family, man, growing up.
Yeah. I remember... Yeah, I think it was. It was one of the unspoken rules, unspoken rules, where it was like, okay, you're going to hang out with us, this is what happens. If one of us starts swinging, you better start swinging too. Because if we see you in the middle of swinging on everybody, if we see you not doing a damn thing... We're gonna kick your ass after we're done.
Finna get it.
Yeah, after we're done running this fade on everybody. If you didn't do anything, if you didn't at least scrape your fucking knee, we're gonna kick your ass too, because you had to be part of it. And that was always fun. That was always fun.
Always fun. Yeah, in hindsight.
It was this this thing I remember. One of the famous fights that we're always talking about is I think 6th grade was more calm for us, but then 7th grade was when it really...
I remember the first time I ever shaved my head was the first day of school for 7th grade.
Right.
I walk in with Crazy. I walk in with her, and they're like, oh, hey, early in the morning, right, for school. And they're like, oh, hey, let's go get down. And, yeah, sure, let's go.
Right. Yeah, and this was the famous... See, his part of the story is he shaved his head, got up, went to school, and then somebody told him, all right, fuck it, we're gonna go fight. And he's, Devil's never been one to back down from a fight.
I'm down.
So he goes and he'll just swing at anybody, fuck it. Just on some the game shit, just punch someone in the face. Or we would Suge Knight our fucking middle school, so just swing at everyone, right? So my side of this story is I got up and my older sister Smoke got up. We go to school. Our dad drops us off. We walk into the school. We're walking to the kickback because everybody, that was the rule in middle school at the time. As everybody, before the whole bullshit of social network and, let me check my Instagram or let me text someone. Let me tell you guys something. We came up in the era where in 10 years, we got cell phones, we got flip phones, we got smartphones.
We got pagers.
Yeah, we had. Oh my bad. I can't disrespect the pager. My bad.
The pager was.
So we got pagers. Then we had phones, cell phones, flip phones.
We had green screen phones and blue screen phones.
We had the Nokia. So we could fucking bust somebody's head with a Nokia phone and still fucking work. To this day, my Nokia is still charged. I think it might have lost. It's down to like maybe 95% now. I haven't charged it since the first time I charged it.
It's a brick, man.
Yeah, so that one, and then what was it? I think we are one of the only generations that experienced vinyl when they were still selling a lot of vinyl. Then it was the Walkman, the Discman. It was the MP3 player, which was a Discman that played MP3 data CDs. For those who don't know what the fuck a CD is, it's the round little shiny shiny discs, but instead of a regular CD, which would hold maybe 12 to 14 songs if you were lucky, there was like an explosion, and it was like, holy shit, MP3, you can download 500 songs, and that's pretty much the fuck you had for the entire time.
Yeah.
We had the CD players. The first ones that came out, you had to walk perfectly still.
Yep, no bumps.
If you moved, that shit would skip completely. Like, it would fuck up your CD that cost about $20 to $25 per CD.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it was I remember they were promoting the Discman that was like, what's it called? It was what was the word for it?
What's it? I don't know.
There was this thing. There was a Discman where you could actually turn on It's basically like you turn on the bulletproof vest for the equivalent of the bulletproof vest for your fucking Discman.
Where you can bump it around?
Yeah, where you can like smack into it and it wouldn't skip. Which I never understood that shit, because it's like you have the option,
right?
But I guess
you have the option to turn it on.
Yeah, but I guess shockproof.
Right.
There you go,
okay.
Shockproof. So you would actually turn it on, and then
Mm-hmm.
afterwards it became standard. You could actually, they all came shockproof, right? So then after that,
why wouldn't they?
Yeah, it became this thing of like, well, why the fuck wouldn't you just make it shockproof in the first place, right?
That's a wise thing.
Then it was I remember it was MP3 player.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was Zune, I think.
Zune
was like the first version of the iPod.
Well,
First version.
iPod took the Zune and made it.
Yeah, so I think either Zune was the knockoff of the iPod, or the iPod was the knockoff of Zune. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not gonna.
A Zune was just a bigger MP3 player, and then the iPod just blew them all away. With the store and everything.
Yeah. So you were able to fucking download. It was like, I remember the first iPods were like, it was like what, 1 gigabyte, 2 gigabytes, 4 gigabytes.
Sure.
If you had 6 or 8 gigabytes, you were the fucking man, dude.
Yeah.
You could put 100 fucking songs in this tiny ass little thing, right? So you were the shit. And this is before all this. This is the beginning of like the iPod. Or not iPod, iPhone, right? And back then, this was actually we're kind of skipping to high school, but I was the fucking shit. And you couldn't tell me otherwise, because I had the fucking Sidekick.
The Sidekick, wow.
The Sidekick came out almost.
You had a Sidekick?
Yeah, I had the Sidekick, and I'm not talking about someone that followed me and
you had a Robin?
like Batman and Robin. I'm talking about a phone that was called the Sidekick. It was a flip phone, and the first one came out. It was huge, and it didn't have a camera, but you could text. It was basically like a little keyboard.
They didn't call it texting back then.
No,
It wasn't
it was just
texting
like
yet.
typing or sending emails or something. This was we had the internet where it took you 38 hours to fucking download half a titty. If you were trying to download porn, if you had to really know what the fuck you were doing and commit to one image to download it. Because if somebody sent you even a happy face, it took 14 hours to download a winky face. Y'all motherfuckers don't know how good you have it. So but back to what we were talking about, right? So 7th grade, we're getting out back to the fight. So we're getting there.
Right. So the point of this whole rambling session was that back in our time, all of us used to meet up at a certain spot in school to see who was there, who was
There
where,
you go.
where
Thank
can we
you.
hang out, whose parents aren't home, if we wanted to ditch, who can get the beers or what.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, because
Teen drinking is very bad.
It is normal now. Shit.
Yeah.
Teen smoking is normal.
See, this is why most of our generation we don't know what the fuck to do with our lives now. Or at 20, we didn't know what the fuck to do with our lives. Because when we hit 18, we had smoked, drank, fought, had kids, damn near been in 7-year relationships.
Man, we lived.
And we had lived a whole grown-ass man life by the time we hit 18. So, but what Devil kind of made, kind of brought it in because like I always do.
Old man trailed off.
Yeah, I always fucking like, ooh, shiny, and I trail off all the time. Is before social media, when you went to school, you had your kickback. You had your place where you met.
Mm-hmm.
All the crew in the morning, everyone's like, okay, who's here? Who didn't show up? Oh, this person's not going to come. All right, cool. So you know who you were going to hang out with. You knew if you were going to start shit, if you were deep enough to start shit. Because
Right.
if you were the only one who showed up to school, then I was like, I'm probably not going to fight a whole group of motherfuckers
Be
today.
a calm day.
Yeah. I'm
Or-
just going to chill with my girl or something like that, right?
Mm.
This is before... before mostly anybody had sex. If you claimed you had sex, it was bullshit. You saw a titty and you're like, I'm not a virgin anymore. Fuck all that shit, right? And so, yeah. So we go and we meet. We're going to the kickback to see who's here. And what do we see? I see Devil fucking swinging at a sea of fucking people, right? I was like, God damn, it's 5 to 8. How the fuck are you in a fight already, bro? And this was just swinging, right? And by the way, the only person who has a better fucking street record, street champ record, would be him.
Mm-hmm.
If he's undefeated and he has more fights than I do. That's why I would say he's the better fighter. He hasn't gotten knocked the fuck out like I haven't gotten knocked the fuck out. But he's gotten a hell of a lot more fights than I have, and I fought a lot.
I haven't gotten knocked down.
Yeah, you haven't gotten. Yeah, you haven't even. You wouldn't even know how the fuck the ropes feel like. This is an undisputed, fucking.
Nah, man, I was a little bulldog back then.
Hood champion. Yeah.
Bulldog. He's felt like Tyson. Let's go at it.
Yeah. So this fool starts beating up these kids, right? So he's fucking them up. They start trying to jump him.
Well, I don't say kids, but we were the same age. Right?
Yeah.
That sounds bad.
Yeah, I make it sound like
Wait
your
a
30-year-old you right
Yeah.
now is just knocking kids the fuck out. Run that feet, little
minute.
motherfucker. Bah. Nah. We were all kids back then.
Yeah.
So he's about to get jumped by another set of kids, right? So my sister Smoke starts running. I mean, full speed, fucking drops her books and cocks this one Armenian kid in the face, right? Boom. So I'm like, fuck. Now I got to get involved because if the whole I swing, you swing, we all swing together shit, right?
And that's even deeper for families. Don't even get started.
Yeah, definitely. We were raised with if Devil came home with a black eye, I had to come home with 2 black eyes.
Right.
Because I was supposed to fight harder than him. And if I came back with no arm, this motherfucker had to come back with missing limbs too. Because there was no reason why one of us got hurt and the other one didn't do shit about it.
Right.
So as soon as Smokey punches the guy in the face, I drop my backpack and I start running because I know I'm going to start fucking fighting. Some guy punches Smokey in the head, and I just ran and fucking cocked him in the throat. Bah! And we just start fighting. And then the bell rings, the security, the slow ass security gets there.
Was it Craig or something?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we all dipped. So we're all in first period, sitting there, fucking bloody, bruised.
Shit.
It looked like we didn't even bother to comb our hair, and we're just there like, oh, what's up? You get in a fight? Fight. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
First day of school.
Yeah, first day of school, man. It's too early to fight.
Fuck.
But there's a lot of them. Definitely. Let's see what else.
And that was just us young and dumb, not even organized or anything. It was just,
Yeah, this is before we.
Yeah.
I've always talked to people about this on the other episodes. I've gotten along across the spectrum with a bunch of different gangs, and the reason why would be middle school, because in middle school, all of us. This was before they had tracks and everything. We had a year-round school. So there wasn't like A track, B track, C track, none of that bullshit.
Red, blue, and green.
Yeah, everybody went on the same fucking track. Red track, blue track, green track, whatever bullshit. We didn't have that. What we had was just a year-round school. We went to school the entire fucking year. If you don't know what that means, and we made friends with everyone. But then once they changed everything, and before everybody would try to go to a different school or the same school, even though you lived like 20 miles away, you still went to the same middle school as your dad did, even though you don't live there anymore. And so once they changed that, once the LAUSD changed it, everybody left. So it was like some people went to Virgil, some people were in King, some people were in LeConte. Some people went to, what was the other one?
Like Franklin and stuff.
Yeah, Franklin. Like, all these places. And it went the same for high school. Some people went to Marshall. Some people went to,
Belmont.
Belmont. Fuck Belmont. Garfield, Hollywood. What the fuck else?
Just whatever was closest to you.
Whatever was closest to you, that's where you went to. And so we made friends in middle school, but then when high school came along, we all spread out. We all spread out, and high school hit. And in high school, everybody joined a different gang, or they started gangbanging, or they started their crews and stuff like that. And so everybody went everywhere, but because of the ties that we had and the friendships that we had made in middle school, we were cool with each other.
Well, he was.
For the most part.
Sure.
For the most part. I was cool with everybody. Some people took that shit to the heart and was like, well, fuck it. It doesn't mean anything. Now you're the enemy. Now I got to fuck you up because you rep something that I don't rep. And so...
Yeah, and it sucks to, grow up with somebody and then lose a friendship that way. Yeah. And it happened a lot. I mean, it happened a lot more. Yeah. Too many times. With too many people.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, those were the times,
Yeah. Gangbanging was...
And it wasn't even gangbanging. We were a crew. We were just a simple crew. We didn't even tag in middle school. It was just, we just had names. We had nicknames because that's what, everyone had nicknames.
Yeah.
So growing up, we didn't even tag until Marshall. Well, a little bit before Marshall. Going into Marshall, we started tagging, hitting up. And then we became the tagging crew.
Yeah. We had the tagging crew and stuff. And the thing was, I think our generation, correct me if I'm wrong, but, and not to, there's this Spanish saying that goes, you're putting too much sauce in your tacos, kind of like, kind of boasting too much, but I think our generation or our year changed a lot of the dynamic that used to be, because before you used to hear this bullshit of like, oh well, the seniors used to pick on the freshmen and stuff like that. That shit didn't happen. We were a fucking angry ass generation. So all the fighting that we did in middle school, and honestly, we were lucky that we got the fuck out of middle school when we did.
And social promotion ended, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Social promotion ended, and the last year it ended. So we really had to. We're like, what you mean?
We just made it.
I'm like 39 credits behind. What the fuck you mean you're gonna take social promotion away from me?
Shit.
So we had to really
explain social promotion, because
social promotion means no matter how much you fuck up, they still send you to the next grade.
Right.
Like if you're in 6th grade and you never showed up, you're still a 7th grader the next year.
Right.
and during 8th grade, they told us, if you don't have enough credits, you won't go to high school. You'll stay in middle school. And all of us pulled the rabbit out of our ass. We managed to graduate for the most part. I would say like
Sure.
90% of us.
Yeah.
You know, with the help of Jesus and Allah and everybody else, we managed to graduate. So then high school started, and I remember, do you remember what we did the first day of high school?
Nah, man, I was high.
So, first day of high school, we show up. Everybody went to homeroom, and everyone's like scrambling, trying to see who's there, who's not. We lost a lot of people because everybody went to different high schools. It kind of sucked. We went from like a big group of, by the end of middle school, we were like 30 deep at least.
Yeah, and then it was surreal. There were kids crying because they were going to a different high school.
Yeah,
and it was at the time, it's vivid. I still remember it, but at the time, it was strange to me.
Yeah, it was like we had a lot of good friendships, and we're talking about friendships, you know. And it wasn't just like, oh, I know him and that's it. Nah, we shed blood together.
None of these Facebook friendships, no social friends. It's like we were together in the shit, you know?
Yeah.
We knew parents' names, sisters, brothers. We knew shit.
You know how like your generation now, not your generation, but the listeners out there, younger generation. You say, oh yeah, that's my bro. Nah, you don't know the fucking meaning of it. Just somebody you call bros, your acquaintance, you call them bros. Our fucking brothers, we knew their family. I could tell you where they lived, how many people in their family, what kind of cereal they ate, all kinds of shit, because you were always welcome in their house, you know?
Right.
So, we knew each other. We had to know each other because, there was no fucking cell phones or anything. So you had to, like, if I wanted to kick it with you, I had to go to your house and ask permission if you could go. Or you'd come to my house and ask permission if we could do something. So
permission?
Yeah.
What do you mean permission?
That kind of shit. For most part. Well, there's a lot of people that are exempt from that where they just say fuck it and they do whatever the fuck we want to do.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did lose a lot of people in high school.
A lot of it. Oh, you got to tell the story of.
I don't remember.
We were still in middle school.
Go tell it.
What?
Start it.
No, when I got hit with the fire extinguisher.
That was fucking Lockwood.
No, we were in middle school, but we went back to Lockwood.
So he used to live across the street from an elementary school.
Allegedly.
Well, I don't say which one. But he used to live across the street from an elementary school. And then one day, I guess, I don't know what happened. We were bored.
We really were bored.
We were just bored walking the streets. So we hop a fence to go into the school, right? We were messing around, playing ball, playing whatever. And then I guess we noticed a door open to the cafeteria. So we went in there. We get into the school. We look at the cash registers. And we're fucking shit up, you know? We're looking around for anything to take. You know, kids, what are we, like 10, 12?
Yeah, I think we were like 12 years old.
I don't even know what the hell we were.
Yeah,
but yeah, we're rummaging through the school and going through the cash registers, looking in the fridge, looking for something to eat and take.
We were that stupid, we drank the milk.
We drank the milk. We took milk.
The chocolate milk.
We came up.
Oh, yeah, we took the chocolate milk. Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That would just let you know what kind of mental...
We were thugs, man. We took milk.
You couldn't tell us we weren't straight thugs. We were thug life. Oh, we took chocolate milk.
Shit. Yeah, man. So we're messing around, and then my smart ass just grabs a fire extinguisher, because in the movies, their fire extinguishers were water. I get in the movies growing up, they were water. So I get a fire extinguisher and I hide behind the door waiting for this one to pass by, and I spray his ass. And what comes out is this dry chemical that's in all of them now, and it fucks him up, and he's there inhaling and choking and gagging. Yeah. And how was that for you? That
was not a good experience for me, man. That was fucked up. This fool thinking it's water, it's fucking powder to make sure the fire doesn't spread.
Again.
Yeah. So I inhaled a big breath of fucking whatever the fucking powdery substance is, and I start fucking choking. I'm throwing up. I'm like halfway throwing up. I'm blind. I can't see.
Remember that shit.
And then we have to get the hell out of there because...
Yeah. But another more to that is we weren't the only stupid kids in there. There were older kids there.
Oh,
The
yeah.
neighborhood crew, neighborhood gangs, whatever they were. They saw us go in there and they followed us to rummage themselves.
Yeah.
So I mean, those are other connections that we also made. They saw us being stupid or down. You know, back then being stupid, you were called down. You're down.
Like you're down to do stupid shit.
You're down to do stupid things. Yeah. So that was us. And yeah, that's how we built connections too. And then we had to get the fuck out of there.
Because I think someone called the cops.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how the hell I end up jumping the fence.
So we jumped the fence again, but we're like, oh, let's take something home. Let's take something to grandma. So we take pots and pans and knives and shit.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And then you're walking down the street with a fucking knife in your shoe or something.
Yeah, cause my dumbass. This will tell you how my level of intelligence at that point in time in my life. I put a knife in my pocket, and it cuts through my pocket, and slides down my pants, down to my shoe, and my shoe's the one that stopped it.
It's
right?
in your shoe.
Yeah, it's in the shoe, and it stopped it, right? And I think maybe like 2-3 seconds after we jumped the fence back out, the cops show up.
Yeah.
And they look at us and they go, "You guys are just walking by, right?"
Mm-hmm.
We're like, "Yep."
Yes, sir.
And I start walking and I hear, and the knife starts dragging on the ground. I'm like, "Ah, shit." Right? So
shit.
I slowly walk, and once we turn the corner, we start running, and the knife, the chunkier part of the knife is still stuck in my pants, but the blade is like fucking sparks all scraping the ground, the concrete, and it's like sparking, and we're running the hell out of there because we're trying not to get in trouble. We're trying not to get, caught. And I think the other guys got caught because they were still inside.
You probably did, man. Fuck that.
We always knew, that's the one thing that I think either God was looking out for us or we just knew when to cash out.
It was just dumb luck. All the whole lives.
Yeah.
It's been just dumb luck being... Yeah. Either way, being in the wrong place at the wrong time or leaving someplace early, it was just... Yeah.
Yeah. So... we start high school, right?
School.
And back to the story I was saying, right? So, it's usually like freshmen are the ones who get picked on by the senior kids or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's nutrition time.
Wow, nutrition. Forgot about that.
And we're which is called first lunch.
Sure.
And we're just posted up, and we found a spot, and everyone's like kind of uniting. We're like,
we're just watching people pass by and be like, "Hey, remember us?"
Like, "Hey,
I remember you."
You know, we're pulling people out the crowd. Like, "Hey, come on!"
Yeah,
Even people that
friends.
didn't really hang out with us that much were like, "Hey, well, I know him. He knows us." So
we went to King together, right?
We went to the same middle school. So then, fuck it, you're part of us now.
Hang out.
So then,
wow.
I think it was like the football players, like the varsity team, right? So these motherfuckers, in their mind, they're in a movie, and so they're gonna punk the poor, defenseless freshmen, right?
Poor little Mexicans.
Yeah. So they walk up and they start fucking with us, right? But unfortunately, they start fucking with Devil. Now, that's bad fucking. Like that's just drawing the shortest fucking straw on the first day of school, right? So then they start trying to fuck with him, and all I remember was looking and going, "Oh, cool, this homegirl of mine." And then I turned back around, and this was punching someone in the face. He punches him in the face, so it's the rule of law. He swings, I swing. We all swing together.
Mm-hmm. Man, we were like 4 or 5 deep then.
Yeah. So then we start rumbling in the cafeteria area, in the cafeteria outside. So we start fighting. This food fight starts, And I guess all the freshmen united and started just kind of started just beating the shit out of the senior
It's
class.
not anybody, obviously.
To the point where they actually called the cops and there was a lockdown. You remember that?
Yeah, one of the early lockdowns.
Everybody wasn't, the bell rung, everybody went to class. They were like, fuck it, everybody to their homeroom. They sent everybody to their homeroom, and we stayed there, and they didn't let anybody out. So by the time, flash forward, by the time we got out of high school, there was new cameras, bigger fences. They had upped their security a bunch. Like, everywhere that we went to, after we left, the next generation suffered for us because of us, because they had more beefier security. They had more cameras, bigger fences, because we could jump a fence, bro.
Man.
We were so fucking small and short, but it was like 1, 2, and boom, we're over.
Yeah. If you guys have ever jumped the fence and found like oil up there, it's because of us.
Yeah,
They started oiling the fences up so people could fall.
Yeah. That was fucked up. Yeah, it was bad. But yeah, and then, high school was a place where everybody kind of started going with their own crowd. Because before it was just we're united and we're all together and everything. But then you start kind of, I guess, getting your individuality on.
Sure.
And so other people, even the crew was strong. But the crew didn't consist of everybody always fighting. Shit changed. It was more about, some of us were in tagger crews, some of us were in gangs where we started getting jumped because we built a reputation of people who didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. Again, we were down.
Yeah.
We were down, and the gangs see that, and they know where you live, right? So, yeah, people got jumped into gangs. If they didn't claim, they got jumped again until they did.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, like, gang culture, they pretty much did what the NFL did. They scouted you, they saw that you could fight, but they didn't ask you, and there was no 7-figure fucking contract. They beat your ass and they told you, you're part of our gang now, and if you don't claim it, we're gonna come kill you or we're gonna jump you again until you claim it.
So you do.
So a lot of us started losing a lot of friends. Not dying, but that came later. But a lot of our friends just kind of started being part of gangs because they had no choice. I mean, you walk down the street. We were one of the few generations that the majority of us walked to school and walked home. We were still with the generation that played outside.
Yeah.
We weren't inside with our fucking tablets and phones. We were outside.
Yeah, breaking into schools.
Yeah, we went to arcades.
Wow.
We went to hang out. We still had kickbacks in the park and stuff like that. That was I think we were the last generation, one of the last generations to still do that.
Yeah, there's barcades now.
Yeah, and now it's like nobody really hangs out outside anymore, but usually it was because I think we might have fucked everything up for everyone else.
Not us. Just in general, society, the internet, and video games. And things.
A lot of the stuff was like, we made it very unsafe for everybody to be outside for.
Well, it was unsafe for us to be outside at the time.
Yeah, we just kind of fell into that culture and we just adapted. Everybody knew you either had affiliation. You had to be affiliated with somebody. If you weren't from a gang, you damn sure should know somebody from a gang, because
you had to be connected. You didn't have to be from a gang, but you needed to have somebody to back you up, or somebody to name drop. You want to get into a club and you drop a name. Mm-hmm. That's what you wanted to do to walk home safely.
Yeah, you didn't want to get shanked. You're like, hey, you know what? I know Devil. And you better hope that they were cool. Because if you name drop the wrong person, you're like,
you know him.
You're like, I know Devil. You mean Devil, the one that fucked my sister and gave me a black eye? No.
The other one.
The other Devil, the one who killed my grandma. You know what? I'm going to just go with the one that hit your sister, bro. Yeah. And then you caught that fake. And that was it. And so we were introduced in high school. I think we were introduced more to death. to drugs. Well, which was for our drugs, mind you, we weren't fucking mindless, fucking druggies. No.
That came later.
Well,
For some.
I want to say yes and no because our drug was weed.
Well, yeah. Well, weed was very, very popular. I mean,
Yeah,
it still is,
weed
right?
was
But-
mad illegal. This, people who are doing time for selling 20 pounds of weed or a pound of weed. That's our generation. We're doing 15 years in prison for selling a pound of weed, which now you can get in every fucking corner
Fuck.
of the city in California. But back then it was mad illegal. We weren't selling Percocets. We weren't selling Molly. You had to be super fucking fucking drug addict to be doing coke when you were younger, or selling like we didn't. I personally I didn't know a lot of people that sold cocaine. I knew a lot of people that were like, "Hey, you got the hookup?" Yeah, we grew up in the generation where they still sold nickels. Where,
Nickel and dimed you.
yeah, where
Dubs.
where being a hustler meant you sold 5 pounds of not 5 pounds. Goddamn, that was
5 ounces.
No, 5 ounces, like a nickel, like a $5 baggie of weed, which was what, like half a joint or some shit like that.
It was like a joint and something, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a fat joint of change, or if you skimmed it, 2 really small joints.
You use a pipe and then you smoke the rest. And guys,
Yeah. So we were part of that generation. We weren't that, we're moving bricks. Nah, we were moving nickels and dimes.
Yeah, and bad weed back then was really bad too. It was really, but compared to this shit now,
Yeah, this shit makes you see Jesus when you hit one. You take one hit and you fucking time travel. Back then, it was ass. It was ass weed.
yeah.
You
But
had that
we didn't know
pretend
that. We didn't know it then. But
Yeah, a lot of people that actually smoked weed or that were weed smokers. Oh, dude, I remember you were considered fucking El Chapo if you had 20, a baggie of 20. If you had a dub sack, woo, you were fucking El
man.
Chapo, dog.
yeah, man. Then you look at the weed and look at all the green hairs on, all the red hairs on it.
Yeah,
and all- wow.
This was when Bone Thugs said, "This is for the weed, this
Yeah.
is for the weed."
Yeah, Bone Thugs got us through that.
What was it? Gonna bang up, gonna buy a pack and a quarter round, all that stuff, right?
Something like that.
This is when you went to the store and you still bought rolling papers.
Zigzags.
Zigzags. There you go, zigzags.
Switch your sweets and take them out.
Yeah, all that stuff, man. This is take you back when your mama used to wink at me. That's right.
Shit.
Shout out to your mama. Anyway, so high school, it was the gang days for us. Well, we made 20 friends. At the end of the year, we had 5 left.
We started a crew and there was like 10 of us. Yeah, and then I think right now there's like 5 or 6 of us left.
Still alive?
Yeah, it's good. It's not a bad number, but you know.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's 50-50, yeah? Well,
that's life, right?
okay, out of all of us, how many are still, that are not incarcerated? The ones that are not dead, some are incarcerated.
Sure, all right. Not incarcerated, what, it's like 4 or 3 of us?
2. Me and you?
Me and you?
Me and you,
No,
yeah.
It was like 2, 3 of us, yeah. 3 or 4 of us.
Yeah, but, yeah, and I wanted,
But we're getting ahead. Yeah.
I know we were just kind of ranting about stuff, but I've been ranting a lot. But by the way, it's not my fault. He's always been the strong, silent type. I've been the loud motherfucker. He got so much pussy because of me, just because I was fucking annoying that I wouldn't shut up. The girls are like, "Ooh, he's so sexy.
Take me away."
He's so silent and strong."
Yeah.
I played my part, bro. You got so much ass, allegedly, so much ass in the 5th grade.
The 5th grade,
In
yeah.
the 5th grade.
Yeah.
For religious reasons. Yeah. I don't want to bring that story.
No,
up.
and people that know me, people who know me know that, when you asked me to do this podcast with you, I was like, really, me? I don't talk. And people that know me, I've known you my whole life, dude. I don't really talk to people or anyone. Which is, and that's it. Right? This is all I'll say.
Yeah, like
I'll be silent for the rest of it.
and I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, well, well, I talk a lot, but whenever 90% of the stories that I always tell you guys here on the podcast, he's always been there. I always mention it. I always shout him out, and I'm like, from working with my dad when I was younger and going to Las Vegas.
Indio Vegas.
Fucking
spooning in the truck.
Finland. No, Finland? No, the Paramount swap meet.
Okay.
The one that actually sold beer. From
getting weed from the people across the.
Oh, I know that was hilarious.
That was in India or something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Wow.
that was not. That was Vegas.
Vegas. Oh,
there was a guy. We used to go to this swap meet. Yeah, we used to go to this swap meet. It was like a 3-day swap meet.
From LA to Vegas. We missed school just to do that.
I know, right?
Yeah, you kids don't know nothing about hard work now.
Yeah, about having to miss to fucking work like a grown ass man. That's why it's easy for us, because we've been working 16-hour shifts since we were in.
We've been setting up the tents, the merchandise, everything.
All that shit.
5 a.m. and shit.
Yeah, and there was these fucking weed heads that they used to post their.
They used to sell shoes in front of us.
Yeah, they used to sell shoes, and I didn't know where they go. And they're like, "Hey, come here." They told Devil, right? And then they go, want some
I guess
cola de chivo.
I guess I look like a pothead.
You look like you look like you indulge.
I think I smelled that one.
Yeah. And it's like, hey, you smoke? It's like, what's that?
What?
Allegedly. And they were like, oh, here's some cola de chivo. I remember. And you were like, what the fuck? I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, what? He's like, oh, mota. I was like, oh, yeah, I know mota. I know what mota is. And so they gave you something. And the stupid shit was that they gave it to you almost in front of my dad, right?
Yeah, it was in front of dad and grandma.
And they just looked at it. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's just money, huh? It's
yeah,
green.
and it was like, oh, we'll keep it, but we're going to throw it away when they leave. And dad was like, yeah, throw it away. We had that. Oh, remember the crazy girl? Saraí, I think.
Which one? Oh, your girl?
Nah, fuck that. I was never my girl. Fuck that.
Nope.
I think I mentioned the story before. This girl, I thought she was cute.
Like, you thought all of them were cute. But
Yeah, hey, man, they were cute. Fuck that, they were cute.
That's what happens when you're lonely. Everyone's cute.
Nah, fuck that. She was cute. Crazy, batshit crazy, but cute. Yeah. I've always had a fucking bad luck. I attract crazy. You can give me 100 women in front of me, blindfold me and spin me around, and I will find the craziest fucking girl
aura.
there. Yeah. And so I thought she was cute, right? So Devil helps me out. He's a wingman, right? He distracts. I think it was her grandma or somebody, her dad.
Wherever there.
And I slide up like all smooth and shit, like, what's up, baby? Hi.
Hola.
Oh yeah, no. Remember the gay wave? The gay wave?
Your wave?
Yeah. That
your
was,
normal wave?
Yeah, that was fucked up. So, well, I'm gonna get off track again. But I have this thing where I wave my hand in front of my face to say hi. I've never been that smooth, like, oh, what's up, dad people up kind of shit. I learned that shit later. And so every single time that I meet someone, I'm like, hey, right? And we were in this car one time. I think they just finished doing a fucking drive-by or robbing a bank or something, right? Allegedly. And everyone's like, oh, everyone's
we were on the block. We were on the block with the gangs.
Yeah, and everyone's introducing themselves as like, oh, yeah, this is Laser and Taser and Blazer and shit. And Big Little skinny Fatso and, all kinds of shit, right? And there was an OG from the hood. Like,
it was the OG from the hood.
OG from the hood. The dude, he had like 17 murders under his belt, and that was just on that week alone, right? So Devil introduces me. He's like, oh, this is the homie, Shorty. And he turns around and extends his hand to dap me up, and my stupid ass just goes, hi. I waved my hand in front, and if I tell you, his face just fucking went expressionless.
Oh, shit.
It was like, goddamn, everybody there just looked at me like, oh, no, you didn't, fool. No. What the fuck, bro? Devil was like, I don't know you. Fuck you guys.
He's a kid. He's a kid.
Yeah, I think I got kicked out of the family for 2 days.
Shit. He wasn't invited back.
Yeah, I was.
Then later he spilled his beer. He spilled his beer after.
That was the other one. That was
another guy.
That was another guy. We were chilling there, and I moved my
guy.
leg, and then I kicked his 40 over,
Oh,
and I was like, oh shit. And we picked it up, and we tried to wipe the dirt off his 40, and where he puts his lips at, it had fucking dirt.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, oh shit. And he drank it too. He was like, what the fuck? It tastes a little spicy. Like, oh my bad. That's probably the dog piss that was on your 40 player. But yeah. But you know, we had some fun times, but you know.
Huh.
We grew up too damn fast. We had good times, and most of the time, whenever I have stories like the crazy girl we're talking about, right? So I finally tell her she's cute, and she's like, "Oh, thank you," you know. And I told her, I'm like, "Oh, I think I like you. I think you're cute." She goes, "Cool," and this is where it should have been a red flag for me. She said, "I like you too." Ain't no fucking girl ever in my life tell me, "Oh, I like you too." At least not to that point. I wasn't suave like I am now. This girl I was like, "Oh shit, really?" Right? So I should have been the first red flag. She liked me back like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then, my birthday falls in the same month as her birthday, and so her grandma comes up to me and goes, "Yo, my granddaughter wants you to be on her birthday." But because it was my birthday week and because it was close to a holiday, we weren't gonna come back that week. At least we weren't gonna be in Vegas at that time, right?
Right.
So we don't go. The next week we come back, and her grandma tells us, "Yo, she spent the whole fucking birthday crying in her room." And I'm not talking about like, "Oh, it's sad."
Pobrecita.
Yeah, it's not like, "Oh, you know, she got sad and she missed the guy." No, I mean fucking ugly cry, dog.
Sobbing.
Like sobbing. No, I don't want to. No, if he's not here. I was like, what the fuck? After
You
that,
barely spoke.
yeah, I was like, I barely got your name last week. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And
mind you guys, we were like, what, 12, 13?
yeah.
Not even.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And she just went like that. After that, I didn't want to talk to her. I avoided her. I remember she gave me this shirt for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
It said Heartbreaker. I was like, yeah, thanks. I'm going to burn this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was hilarious. But I never saw her again until maybe like 6 years.
Really?
And after that, dude, she had gotten pregnant with somebody.
Yeah.
And she was there, and she seen me, and I was like, oh, crap. I saw her here in L.A.
Really?
Yeah. She went to the swap meet that my parents used to go to. And I'm like, holy fuck, it's her. I saw her, my life flashed before my eyes. I was like, oh, she came back to finish the job. She's still sour about that one birthday. But nah. She had a kid, and she even told me. She talked to me, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, you missed out." I was like, "No, I don't think so. I don't think I did." Yeah, we're in high school. We have our experiences. We make a lot of friends. We lose a lot of friends.
We make a lot of enemies.
And then there's a character. There's this guy that we were very good friends of ours. And he dies. He gets set up by one of our own or one of his own at the time. And he gets murdered. The funeral comes. We go and
I don't go.
Devil doesn't go. But I go to his wake at his house to give my condolences. And I see just drinking and smoking. Everyone disrespecting his house, right? So that dissolution, at least for me, that's when it happened. The dissolution for me was, man, you say you're his homie, but you're disrespecting his house. You're disrespecting everything he's doing. So, fuck you guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, we're all grieving, and then the people in the gang at the time, were we're like, oh, well, your little group hangs out so much. You guys got to start hanging with us.
You're talking about my group now.
Yeah. No. It was the other one.
Well,
The other one,
yeah.
right? This is before you
Disbanded.
yeah, dismantled and no, you dismantled and created your own entity.
Yeah.
That which was the crew, right? So they go either you. I think they forgot why we got recruited in the first place, and so they start threatening us. They start going, well, if you don't start hanging out, we're gonna fuck you up. So we start laughing and we're like, okay, yeah, cool. I want to see you guys come for us. So then, unbeknown to us, we're still kind of grieving. You know, I didn't end up going to the homies' burial. I heard that instead of mourning and showing respect, they got in a fight. They got in a fight because they wanted his position because he was a high-ranking member and he ran a big crew, so everybody wanted his spot. And so out of nowhere, we all get the green light. Now, for those of you who aren't gang savvy, what does the green light mean?
Green light means that it's on. It's for a game. You are, you're greenlit. What do you want me to say, man? Yeah, we were on the hit list. We were on a shit list for a while.
Yeah, it means we'll kill you on sight.
Wow.
They're gonna stomp you out and they're gonna kill you on sight. So they put the green light out on myself, on Devil, on Smoke, on anyone that wasn't doing.
Anyone who hang out with us, really.
Yeah, anyone who wasn't doing what they wanted us to do.
Anyone who wasn't gang affiliated.
Yeah. So we decided to kind of distance ourselves from, at least from them. And so for me, the real like super turning point was Smoke was with Slim.
Slim Shady.
Yeah, and they were in a stoplight. They see some of the what we considered homies.
The old gang.
Yeah, and then they all walk up to the car. They pull Slim out, and they start jumping him. They start
at a red light. They pull him out of a car
with Smokey and with his his daughter. Daff. She was maybe like a month or 2 months old.
Shit.
And they beat the shit out of him badly, right? And this is our own fucking people. They're supposed to be our own fucking people.
It was, yeah.
Right? So he gets home battered, bloody, and we're like, fuck, man. So we're all pissed off. Remember, we got into a big fucking van, all of us. It wasn't a gang thing. It was a family thing. We gathered the family. We went out looking for them. They were gone. They fucking disappeared.
We hit every alley, everything.
Yep. So they disappeared. So then time passes. Everyone still got the green light. I remember. I think it was. I don't know if it was. Who the fuck was it? Muggsy. It was somebody. It was this one guy. I remember that I heard it and I laughed because I'm like, yeah. They would have to send a big motherfucker. They have to send a big fish to kill a fucking shark, you know? And so I remember they tried to do that shit to you and you fucked them up.
I fucked up this guy named Villain with the teeth.
There you go. Yeah, he showed up. They sent a big motherfucker.
He was tall.
He was like, what, like 6'2"?
He was a big guy, yeah.
Yeah, 6'2", some like...
Pero pendejo.
Yeah, like maybe 2, like a $110. No, 210.
Yeah, he was a heavy guy.
Yeah, 210, 6'2", and you fucked him up. So that only pissed him off even more. And
I fought back at whatever they threw at me, man. And they threw shit at me.
You kept fucking them up. I remember I was just walking down the street and 5 motherfuckers they couldn't beat me one-on-one, so then they 5 dudes tried to jump me and they still couldn't fuck me up. I got hit. That's the night when I got hit with the brick in the back of the head.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck you guys, and I still fucked them up. And they still couldn't fucking take me out. So
I took a fucking baseball bat to my head.
Yeah. I remember all that shit, bro. It was just bad. And so
and it sounds like we're glorifying it.
No,
but it was, in hindsight, we're okay. So we laugh about it now.
Yeah,
But at the time, it was fuck, man.
we were, and mind you, we're not grown ups. We're kids.
Yeah,
We're still kids.
We're walking down the street and then this shit happens to you, man. It's not.
Yeah, we were what 16,
Not
15
cool.
at the time.
Yeah. That's
Around
generous.
that time.
Yeah.
And so, I think I remember a lot of people that loved you moved you the fuck out. They were like, no, you can't fucking be here. But you didn't get. I
left later. Yeah.
Yeah, you left later, but I got to let everyone know, Devil doesn't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
He don't give a fuck. He hasn't given a fuck about death for a long fucking time. And so he never took this chain in. He couldn't wear a chain, but because he was allergic. But that's a whole different other shit.
I welcomed death. I went out looking for it after the homie died.
Yeah.
The brother. You know, it was just like a year of wanting to die, of welcoming it. You know, doing stupid things, and all it got me was locked up. Not even that. It got locked up once.
It was like a slap in the wrist.
Yeah, it wasn't even for anything bad. You know, it was just stupid things.
Jaywalking.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but you know, you welcome it and you look for it and you self-destruct, and that was me at 15, 14.
Yeah.
And that shit didn't happen for me. I couldn't die.
Much like getting fired from that one job.
I couldn't get fired. I couldn't die. Fuck, I tried, man. I tried to fuck up my life.
Yeah. And then you were, yeah, I remember it was like, fuck, everyone, I just kept hearing stories like, yo, did you hear so-and-so ran into Devil? And I'm like, was the fool still alive? Oh, you mean Devil? No, I know he's still alive. I'm talking about the other fool. How's the other fool?
Right.
How's that other fool's jaw? And it's like a lot of people started popping up in hospitals, you know, allegedly for shit. You know, I mean, they ran into a brick wall. And so I personally had my own vendetta of like going out and catching the fools that did whatever the fuck they did to Slim and to Smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the you know, all the bullshit that they did, I had to catch them. I ended up catching them slipping and I ended up fucking them up. And that was it. Like I disappeared from the world for a while. We both did. Mm-hmm. Well, I did for most part. I think I did it before you did.
Yeah,
And
I think we kind of trailed off there. You disappeared, and I still ran with the crew, and it was a war. It was a little bit of a war,
Yeah.
For me and my guys, and yeah.
Yeah, and you know, a couple of years, more than a couple of years passed, and it was just we all started getting jobs. We got out of high school. We started getting jobs. We started kind of living in the real world, and even though we were living in the real world, our reputation still carried a lot of weight to it, a lot of beef to it, a lot of stuff. And then I remember the changing of the guards, which was the LAPD started coming down on people a lot, and then there was a whole new generation that didn't really give a fuck about it.
Right.
You know, that we didn't give a fuck about. Coincidentally, all our enemies ended up either dead or in jail.
Yeah, we really didn't do much to end the green light, but they fucked up. That's what they did.
Yeah, they did.
I think they fucked up looking for us in the wrong places,
Mm-hmm.
and they got caught up.
Yeah, they ended up in a bad space. Damn it. 50 Cent said it best. He got shot like I got shot, but one of us ain't fucking breathing, right? So that's how that went. And then I remember you were working, and you told me you got the news that you were gonna be a dad.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I remember you were gonna be a dad, and I was like, God damn it! I thought I was gonna, out of both of us, honestly, I thought that I was gonna be the first one to
the first one.
the first one to have kids before you, because I actually wanted kids. That's all had been in my head.
You did want kids. You're fucking crazy.
Yeah, and you were like, nah, these hoes can't tie me down.
Nah, man.
And then,
and the one hoe, that one hoe.
and then one day, Fucking Crazy was like, "Gotcha, bitch."
Got me. Fucking.
Caught you slipping, homie.
She did.
Which I'm pretty sure it was a rape.
It was rape. I was passed out.
She gonna hit you. She gonna run that fade on me. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you got raped and then she got pregnant. And so that happened. I don't know. I don't know if you remember the talk that we had, because for you it's not. For most people, it's a facade, right? But for most people, they want to be gangsters. They want to be a person that doesn't give a fuck. That's their alter ego.
Mm-hmm.
That's not your alter ego. Since I've known you for pretty much 30 fucking years, bro.
Yeah.
And you haven't given a fuck since fifth grade. Since not fifth grade. Since you were 5 years old, bro.
It's a gift and a curse, you know. Yeah, not to get too deep with you, man, but you know, it prevents me from building relationships, even with, you know, the wife and the kids and friends, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, it's this life isn't fun. It's not shits and giggles. You know, it's hard. It's pain, man. Yeah.
Do you remember the talk we had when you? Because I remember you had your kid, your oldest son, right?
At 19, 20, yeah.
Yeah, and then you told me. I remember we had this talk where I've always been the after school special, at least when it comes to family.
You want to wax
Right.
poetic?
Yeah, I've always been that person, and you've always been the fuck it, loose cannon, bro. You've always been that person.
Yeah.
You don't apologize for it or anything.
I don't apologize. I'm
So-
sorry. That's just how I am.
Yeah, and and so I remember you told me, you're like, oh yeah, I want my kid to be like me. Like you wanted him to be a hard motherfucker and, you know, knocking
did.
motherfuckers out and shit at the time. And who could blame you? You were young.
Yeah.
You were young. You were still fucking angry. Not that you're old now, but you know you were.
I'm old and angry now.
You didn't have the you're not even
No,
old.
yeah.
You didn't have the experiences you had under your belt, right? You never been a dad before, that you know of.
Oh yeah, I remember growing up. Like, oh, this kid's gonna take over the fucking world. He's gonna take over this block, that block.
Yeah, and
Yeah, that was, you know, you thanked small potatoes back then.
yeah, and so I remember having the conversation with you that I most of the time when I've told you, like, oh, I guess I don't want to say lectured you, because that's not it. Like when we've had our heart to hearts.
No, we
right?
talk. It's a conversation.
Yeah,
not a
well,
lecture.
when we've had our heart to hearts and stuff, you know, I told you, I'm like, bro, I'm like, trust me, I'm like, the last thing you want to do is to ever outlive your son. You never want that. Like, you're you, bro. Like, I know that you go guns blazing. That's the fucking way you want to go. I still consider that at some point in time you will go out in a nursing home. You pull the fucking grenade on there. You had Alzheimer's at like 90 something. You have Alzheimer's and you're back to being 17 and you're gonna start swinging at your nurse and you're gonna, where the fuck did he get a grenade and just pull
My
the
girl.
pin? Yeah, you're gonna pull the pin and fuck it. That's how you're gonna go in a blaze of glory, right? But I told you at the time. I told you, I don't ever want you to have to outlive your child, because that's a fucking pain that will be there won't be any equivalent to that type of pain. You can take pain, but for other people to suffer, you've never been that person. Regardless of how much of a hard ass you've been and fucking straight up gangster that you've been, you've never been okay with anybody that you care about to suffer.
No, yeah.
And I think that was one of the only like times where you actually like slowed down and you were like, cool. You took it in stride, and then your
I
kid
wasn't
was,
like, all right, whatever. I was
yeah,
like,
you weren't like, stop fucking
get
smoking
it.
weed, or stop, are you drunk? Yeah,
I
you
get
didn't
it.
tell me shit like that. You were like, all right, cool. You know, that's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
And then your kid came, and so how did that change your mentality?
Oh man, well, kids are annoying. Again, feelings for me, it's not easy, you know, to feel. So kids are work, man. That's a full-time job, man. And honestly, for a couple years, we still hung out. Nothing changed for me so much, except that I had a had a girlfriend and kids at home, and a kid at home. And thinking back, you feel bad because you weren't there. It's like nothing changes for the guy. A guy can have as many kids and doesn't have to be there, right? And for me, in the first year or so, that's how it was. I felt like, he's just there. It wasn't until he started walking and talking and having a personality that I started to like,
like, oh shit, he's
yeah,
a person. He's a real person.
He's a person and he's mine.
Right.
He's a person and he's mine, and that's when the maternal instincts kick in, and you're like, you want nothing but the best. Yeah, because in the beginning, it's hard for young parents, especially with a crying baby. You want your beauty sleep, you want your sleep, and yeah, you want to have fun, and that was me growing up. Again, we were 19, 20.
Yeah, because I had my oldest at 21.
Yeah, you were a little late.
21, 22. Yeah, I had him like a couple years after you.
Yeah. But
a few years after.
Yeah, but you want to provide, so you find a job and you stick with it, and yeah, man, I think I did okay.
Yeah, see, that's how I knew like, I don't. You say you're not good with feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very difficult for you to express feelings, but you show
my wife will differ.
Yeah, no, but you show them in your actions for most part. Like you've always hated fucking like jobs, like a 9-to-5 kind of shit. But for your kid, you went and held down a fucking 9-to-5.
Again, I try to get fired every day.
Yeah, but no, but the fact that you
Again.
the fact that you even tried, like knowing people,
No,
knowing
right.
you, it's like he warranted trying.
Right. Yeah.
And so you went off and you did that. Like you became someone who held down a 9-to-5.
I became somewhat responsible for the kid.
Yeah. And
right.
Then, yeah, and then I remember like his birthday, like a couple of his birthdays, and like you just being kind of like, hey, this is, it's. I know it's very difficult for you because it's like, hey, you, stop it.
Hey, kid.
Like, hey, kid, yeah. It wasn't like son. It was like, hey, kid, don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like, hey, hey, son, don't do this because you're gonna. It's like, hey, knock that shit off. That was it.
Yeah.
It's like you cared. That's how you cared. You're like,
that's
hey.
how I cared.
It's like, hey, knock it the fuck off because you're gonna get hurt. It wasn't like, hey, mijo, I'm concerned. It's like, hey, stop being stupid, please.
Mm-hmm.
But that was it. The fact that you were on him is that you cared. You're like, hey,
Yeah. Well, the way we were raised, we weren't really raised with emotions and feelings, and not like these.
Oh yeah.
No, our parents didn't get down on one knee and talk to us. No, they took out a belt. They took out a fucking the wire or the hangers or something.
Yeah, how we knew not to do it is because we caught that fade.
No shit, that's how
really
you learn.
Hard fade.
That's how you learn, and that's how you turn hard headed. Honestly,
like, go ahead, do it again. You go catch his fucking hands again. You're like, all right.
they didn't stop hitting me until I said, "Fuck it, hit me." Until I took it, and didn't cry. They didn't stop until that happened, and then nothing worked.
Yeah, that was to be honest. Yeah, we were fucking hard-headed, bro. Mm-hmm. Ass whippings didn't work after a certain point.
Right. Once they stopped working, they didn't know what to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And then talking, it's never been my dad. My dad's go-to was homophobia. It was like, stop.
I remember that.
Like, hey, behave. Stop being a fag. And you're like, how? What does misbehaving and have to do with sexuality? Knock it the fuck. What the fuck is wrong with you? It was just weird. He didn't know what the fuck to say anymore. It was like everything was like, hey, stop it. That's gay. Like, do
you remember the old house on Lockwood? We slept in the room next to Grandma.
Oh yeah.
And we were singing all night. We were singing all night some Boys to Men shit. Again, Boys to Men was the shit growing up.
It was
before boy bands, right? So Boys to Men,
before
we were crooning.
before boy bands were boy bands.
Yeah.
There was some grown ass men saying Boys to Men. My G's, you were 30 when you in that boy band of yours. You were 30.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So we were like singing and crooning right in bed. We're like, woo! And you were like, ah.
Because if you ever listen to any Boys to Men song, it was like, da-da-da-da-da, kind of shit.
Right. And then I remember like your grandma separated us or something.
Yeah, she was like, "Nah, that's gay. Stop it." I was like, "All right."
I think they thought something was going on there.
Yeah, it was hilarious though. It was like, "Hey,
hell are
two
you
boys
two
don't
doing?
start a boy band. Knock that shit off as gay." We could have been Casey and JoJo, bro, but we got stopped. The Mexican Casey and
With all the
JoJo.
drugs and everything.
Yep. You could have been peaked at our fucking in our youth, bro. But we couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
That was just that.
But that's how we grew up. People didn't talk to us. Sex ed wasn't even widely accepted growing up. We got it maybe in the last years.
Yeah, my dad told me hit anything that moves that has a Y chromosome.
Yeah, he's like, always make them wear a skirt.
Yeah,
Every day, make them wear a skirt. It's easy.
Yeah, you remember the sex talks my dad used to give us over there in Vegas?
Yeah, in Vegas.
And,
yeah. And we didn't have nowhere to go again in Vegas.
Yeah, and that shit was hilarious. It was
I was high. I was high half the time.
He was trying to figure it out as he went along, bro. It was like he's talking to us and he's like, nah. You ain't gotta wear a condom. It's like I'm looking at
just pee everything out. He said.
Yeah, he was like, just take a hot shower and pee all the cancer
just
out.
Pee out after sex.
Pee all the AIDS out. You're like, I'm looking at him like, motherfucker.
Cool.
Are you really giving me that shit?
Well, at the time, yeah. And then 2 years later, I had a kid.
Yeah, fuck that. Nah, bro. For me, it was like for me, it was always my dad was very influential in the sense of like what not to do, and the example of what not to do, because he was always like, oh, you remember when he used to get
caught up?
Yeah, he was always like, oh, I gave up my happiness to be your dad, and I was like, gee, thanks, dick.
Right.
You should have dipped. I'm sorry, you should have fucking dipped. So I didn't want that for my son. So I always tell my son like, hey man. You've been wanted since the beginning of before you existed, bro. So don't even trip. But
maybe not you exactly, but you, a kid.
Your general idea you was wanted.
I think that would have fucked him up, right?
Yeah. Then you had your girl. Was it different to have a girl? Because then it's like not only was there baby number 2 and you have more experience-ish in being a dad, but then you had a girl, which is technically, it's like another kid, but then it's a new experience in its own because it's a girl. You can't punch her in the face. Well, you can.
Well, you can, yeah. Well, I had her 2 years. Well, we had her 2 years after. So he was 2 in his terrible 2s. And she was a baby, a terrible baby. She was premature, 7 months.
Remember that.
She was premature 7 months, so for a month, she was in an incubator at the hospital. And my wife would go in and see her every day and shit. And I was working. I was in the same job for those 3 years, and I really didn't believe it. I guess I was in denial, and I had 1 kid, and that's it. So I didn't really pay much attention. And again, I don't know, man. Young, and immature, and that was me. That was me growing up. So again, I feel like I missed, the baby pictures and all the childhood growing up, for both of them. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really mature until they were 4 or 5.
You didn't join the party until it was full on.
Yeah, and half of that was me, smoking and doing all that shit.
You're like, why don't you love your kids? Hey, I stopped smoking, right?
I stopped smoking.
So
I got the same job for 5 years. I mean, I'm doing okay.
You're like, hey, I haven't fought my boss or smoked.
Right.
How can you tell me I don't love my kids?
Right. No, yeah, and it wasn't like a bullshit job, delivering pizzas or whatever. It was,
you had a legitimate fucking job.
I worked in an office.
Yeah, that was the funny part to me all the time. that you on I think your first try, bro, you got a legitimate job.
Well, my first job was swap meet. The swap meet from birth to
that was practice.
Yeah, from birth to 12-ish.
Yeah, you weren't a stranger to hard work anyway.
No,
so
man, I worked, and then my first real check job was taking care of kids club with a K. We taught them.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, in Echo Park, we taught them how to spell kids club wrong from the beginning.
Right.
We spelled it CIDS, a club with a K.
Yeah.
Yeah, those kids were fucked.
Yeah.
And that was my first paying job.
Drug addicts,
I made like $500 that one year.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was a fortune back then.
That was
bro.
a
You're
fortune,
like,
dude.
Ballin'.
It was all.
What you mean it's gone?
It was all weed. No kids, remember? No kids then. It was all
dude,
full of weed.
I was talking to Shaw, and we were talking about how when we got our first like full-time jobs,
Yeah.
we didn't have any kids, so we used to work overtime and get a bunch of checks and everything. It was just us, right? So
I did.
I told her, I was like, bro, I'm like, we had maybe $1,200 check, a $1,200 check that we fucking blew in 2 days, and we never had anything to show for it.
Not me, bro.
We knew the money was there, and then it was gone, and then we fucking did it again until I had a kid. Then I knew exactly where every penny went, bro, because every penny saved your ass.
And honestly, that was part of the problem, that you guys didn't have kids, and I did. So, we would spend money together, and then I would be the one with a kid that I wouldn't see, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm not blaming you. It's, I'm blaming anyone. But, that's what happened. That's what I feel like, I missed out on all that. I didn't really miss out because they were just crying half the fucking time. But, you build that relationship with your kids.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, there hasn't been one check that hasn't gone to my kids since I started working full-time.
Yeah,
I started with Tony and then Giselle and Rafi.
See, but the thing is, that at least for me, the way I see it is like there are people who would open their mouth to say, "Oh, well, I've been a better dad than you," but you've never, like you said, there has yet been a check that's been written that wasn't going toward your kids. There's people out there that's like, "Oh yeah, I love my kids," but it's like, nah, I don't think so. You have given shit before that you given your baby mama money with an attitude because you have to pay something for a kid that you made, and you've never done that. You've always been like, cool, here.
No, I can honestly, I'm fucked up. I'm a fucked up person in general, right? And I'll admit it. I'll be the first one to admit it because, fuck it, like you said, I don't care.
You're like, at this point. Shit.
No, yeah, and honestly, I give props to the wife, for trying, man. And honestly,
You
behind
deserve a medal.
She deserves whatever, man. She deserves all my checks.
Yeah.
Yeah, not alimony, but my checks. So when I live in the same place.
Like what for divorce? You ain't getting shit.
No, not divorced. I'm comfortable. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not good at making people.
Like, we ain't getting divorced. You just gonna get comfortable getting cheated on.
Right?
Hey, there's some motherfuckers out there that'll tell you, "Hey,
Look at me.
just don't make eye contact with my mistress, and we're good."
We're good. No kissing.
You get red bottoms, she gets Nikes. So shut the fuck up. She gets a Michael Kors bag, you get Louis Vuitton and Coach. So shh. And that's about it.
But I wouldn't say I'm the best dad. I'm not the most attentive or anything. But I've been there. I've helped them. I've taught them things, and it's not about the money, but they don't need anything. It's not about giving them toys and shit, but they don't need anything. They've always had what they've needed.
You've always provided financially. That's not even that's not even a question. That's never come up with a question.
Yeah. And that's with me trying to get fired and trying to die, and
you're like, hey, but here's this check.
Right.
Like,
I mean that didn't stop until our mid-20s, man. Because backtracking now, when I found out she was pregnant, we were living in Palm Springs.
Oh, I remember that.
Because of the green light, they found out. Because of the green light.
You fought half of LA, bro. That's why you're like,
right.
fuck
So,
it, you were down.
So during the whole green light thing, they found out, I was in Echo Park, whatever. And then one of those days, we were like 4 or 5 deep, and I was with my wife, and this car rolled up on us. they stuck a fucking a couple guns out, and they pointed at us, right, at the crew. And these guys, they jumped in the car, and I was outside, drunk, whatever I was. I was outside saying, "Fuck it, do it, shoot me, do it."
You're like, what's that? Your sister's
Yeah,
gun?
fucking do it, man. Fucking pussies.
Right?
Because honestly, I know Shorty and everyone that knows me knows that I'm not a talker.
You're like, I'm
So
about that
what-
action, homie.
So growing up, people would always say, "I'm gonna catch you slipping." Like, what the fuck does that mean? I'm here now. You're here now. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I was never catch you slipping. Fuck that.
It's
Do it
funny
here
'cause-
now in the police station. I don't care.
On my heyday of fighting, I think I got that. I picked that up from you. I can honestly say that. Where I was like, I don't like. It's like when someone goes, "Oh, I got a problem with you," I'll punch him in the mouth because I didn't like building suspense.
Right.
It was like, cool, we're here. We don't pick the dance floor. We just dance to the beat.
You just dance, man. Shit.
Yeah.
What is this? Catch you slipping? You're gonna come back with homies and then what? The
Yeah,
fuck?
like then you and
It's
your
you and
homie-
me. It's
yeah,
you and me.
then
We're here
you and
now.
your homie are gonna get their ass beat together.
Oh,
That's
shit.
it.
You want to be embarrassed now or later? I mean.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you gonna catch this fade now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did your third kid change anything?
But I think by that time, yeah, because I was in the whole, I was in thug life, right? I was out of that life at that point because
He got the new man.
no, not even new. I'm still crazy as fuck, but
Yeah, but you think twice about starting shit now.
Well-
At least you'll think about it before you're like, do I really need to punch this fool in the mouth? Nah, I got shit. I got teacher conference tomorrow.
man, I gotta look good.
Yeah, I was like, I don't. There's that
Unless he
cute-
agrees to
you're
only
like,
body shots. No.
You're like, there's that cute teacher I'm trying to finesse.
Oh, that
Anyway.
principal was cute. Then she got fat.
You're like, ah, damn it.
No, but I think Raphael got the best of me. But because of that, I think that he also ended up the most like me.
Like crazy.
Yeah.
You fight?
I'm gonna say crazy. No, he doesn't fight. He's
I know,
just
no. I know your daughter fights.
no. My daughter, she's the most thug.
By the way, she looks just like you, bro. It's
She's
just
the-
like
she's
you
the
with
darkest one, that's
she's
why.
like you with long hair, bro.
She's la negrita.
I laugh about it because I look at her and I'm like, she can't even deny.
She has my hair too.
Yeah, you can't even deny that's you, bro.
La negrita es la única tuya.
Yeah, that's funny. It's like, wait a minute. what
Yeah.
you-
So my two
what you
boys are
mean?
white, like mom, and then the
Yeah.
one daughter, she's black with curly hair.
Yeah,
nappy
your
hair.
oldest is light, and then
Yeah.
Ralphie's light too, but she's like you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's brown.
No, I like her. It took me a while to like her, but I like her. She's cool.
And
We'll
I
keep her.
I laugh because when I see her with girly stuff, I'm like, that's just Devil with a dress and a wig.
hey, I cross-dressed in my day. Nah.
You're like, I've been caught cute in my day.
That's right. No, but I think that because I think all my kids are OCD in a way, obsessive compulsive. But Raphael, the youngest, he has the most of me, the most twitches and things, because I'm not. I do things a certain way, and he
He does
the
he
same.
has the same mannerisms. as
he has
you.
mannerisms and things
You'll
like that.
react the
Yeah.
same. Oh,
Yeah.
bro,
So,
my baby mama, she hates the fact that both my kids are smart asses.
And they're all smartasses, yeah.
You've always been like, man, just shut the fuck up.
the fuck up,
Don't make
listen."
don't make it worse, bro. And it's like I'm looking and my kids, I know my kids will look at me and they know they have something in the chamber that's like, I'm gonna get backhanded by my mom, and I look at them like,
Mom said this.
yeah, and I look at them like, I'm not gonna stop your mom from slapping the taste at your mouth, bro.
You have like signs, and you have like winks at each other.
Yeah,
now.
no, seriously, like
Yeah.
my oldest has said like some funny shit, dude. The smallest one has really really good comedic timing, right?
Mhm.
Do you know who Tom Welding is? The guy from Smallville,
Okay. I
the
don't
guy
know,
that
but,
played Superman from
Okay,
Smallville, right?
okay,
Or
sure.
Clark Kent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he came out in a different show called Lucifer,
Okay.
right? So in the show, he gets shot by somebody, right? He gets shot by somebody in the stomach, right? And the funniest shit was that I don't know if you ever watched Smallville. The theme song to the show is "Somebody Save Me."
Nope.
You know.
Go on.
Oh, come on. But that's how that's how the a song that plays in the beginning credits, right?
Yeah.
Was like and so I'm sitting there and I'm watching the show with them, and I'm telling my oldest, I was like, yo, this is the guy from Smallville. And he goes, oh yeah, because he likes Smallville too. And so we're watching the episode. The dude gets shot, and all I hear is this tiny voice go, somebody save. I was like, what the fuck? I started laughing because he did it right as this fool got shot. He's getting shot, and he's like on the ground going, oh shit. And it was so funny, bro. He has comedic timing like no little kid should.
Right.
And for the shit that he's not supposed to, right? And same thing with like with my oldest too. They're smart asses, and I always tell them, it's funny, but don't do it with your mom, because your mom's the only woman that's allowed to slap the taste out your mouth.
Mom.
I'm like, that's you're Cuba and that's Castro. That's Mussolini, bro. Like that's a dictatorship, bro. Like you don't talk back to your mom, because you will slap the taste out your mouth. And they have like said smart ass shit, and she has slapped the shit out of them.
No, same.
And they look at me, and I'm like, don't look at me, man. I told you. I warned you.
Your mouth.
Yeah, I was like, I warned you. You can give me that look. I ain't gonna save you. I'm gonna let you die by yourself. I'm like, this is a losing battle. I'm like, cause I gotta side with your mom. For 90% of the time, I side with your mom, bro. Like, you can't be doing that. I'm like, I think it's funny, but you know, you just can't be saying shit like that to your mom. And
that is a good skill to teach, though, because you know, I think growing up we held our tongue.
Yeah.
I know you talk a lot, but I thought we could take shit. I think that's what helped us get through life.
Yeah. Did you know that my son, he was he started middle school, right? So he's a happy kid. He's always like happy, smiling, and you know, kind of making fun of the world and stuff. And these kids, right? He had a group. They were working on a group project and stuff. And these hoe ass little kids go, you're weird. Why are you so happy all the time? And this fool goes, hey man, unlike you hoes, I'm not gonna be fucking miserable.
Right.
He's like, you're 12. What the hell are you depressed about?
Right.
We're kids. Enjoy being kids. You're never gonna be a kid again. I don't have to work. I don't have to pay rent or bills. This is only gonna get worse. He dead ass told him that. And this is something I always tell him: enjoy being a kid now, because there's nothing you can do to stop getting older. You're gonna get older.
Yeah.
That's inevitable. So just enjoy the ride. Be a kid when you're
a kid. Yeah.
Be a kid when you're supposed to be a kid. Be a teen when you're supposed to be a teen. Be a young adult. Be an adult when the time comes. Because I tell him all the time. I'm like, we lived like adults when we were young. We were always ahead of our time for the most part.
Growing up.
Yeah, and so, you know, and I told him, I'm like, and that causes us we were in our 20s or mid 20s.
I mean, yeah.
Mid 20s, late 20s, going, what's next?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like we were looking forward to clubbing. It wasn't.
Yeah, we didn't even do any of that.
Yeah, we didn't look forward to clubbing.
We looked over our shoulders every time.
Yeah, we didn't look forward to any of that shit. And
that's for us. Yeah.
I was like, God damn.
And that's another episode.
I'm like, God damn, really? Like we just sitting here, bro. Like, dude, spread your ass cheek, get ass naked on the floor. What the hell? What you mean, officer?
It's like that joke. What was your dumbest dream as a child? What was your dumbest dream as a child?
I mean, like to aspire to, or
no,
just,
your dumbest dream. Listen to me.
I think I dreamed I was in Dodger Stadium.
No, not dream. Like, yeah, your aspiration.
Oh.
Nah.
I was like, no, because I was like, no. I'm like, no. Dumbest dream. I was at Dodger Stadium, and I was talking to my sister, and I said, wouldn't it be cool if boxes were turning into hot dogs? It didn't make sense, bro. But I was like, what? And she told me, she's like, you were sleepwalking and talking. I was like, all right. And then apparently I peed on her door. That was weird.
What the fuck are you talking?
That was so.
You ruined my joke, bro.
My bad. It wouldn't let. I was a Power Ranger. You can tell me I wasn't gonna.
No, you the Blue Ranger. Huh?
I wasn't gonna wake up and be.
Oh no, you were Tommy.
Yeah,
the Green and White Ranger.
The Green Ranger, then the White Ranger.
Yep.
Then whatever fucking Ranger he was at. He's still a Power Ranger
Whatever
now.
he's doing now, yeah.
He's still a Power Ranger now,
Yeah,
bro.
he is. I know.
I was like, God damn, you need to stop. But all right.
No, so the joke is, what was your dumbest dream growing up? And the answer is, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a grown up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like now, it's like I would do anything to be a kid again.
Just doing homework.
Yeah.
Especially now, you get a fucking phone at 10 or whatever the fuck you get now.
Yeah, bro. My son asked me, he goes, hey, can I get a phone? I go,
hey, dog.
No. He told me, he goes, hey.
You getting me an iPhone 11 or what?
No, he goes, Dad, he's like, can I have a phone? I go, sure, mijo. When you turn 30, you can have whatever phone you want. I'm like, but by then, phones will probably be obsolete. But you can have a phone.
Implant.
Then he's like, sweet. And people ask him, he's weird according to.
Yeah, he's the one that doesn't have it.
Yeah, he's weird according to his friends. He's like, why don't you have a phone? He's like, because I like going outside. I play outside. I go and do sparring races with my dad.
Right.
You spend time with your dad? Yeah, that's what he's there for.
We talk,
he's
right?
my dad. And they've asked him. They're like, yo, what do you like to do? He's like, I like watching movies with my dad. We go out and stuff. We review movies or we'll criticize a movie or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll be like, oh, you know what? He likes talking about movies all the time. So he's like, oh, I like Terminator 2. I like this movie. I like that movie because of this, because of that.
Him back.
Yeah, and he loves old school music. There's a playlist that I put the list. He likes Mace. He likes Prince.
What are you talking about? Not that
He
old
likes-
school, but okay.
No. I mean, old school
yeah,
isn't like when we were.
Not oldies, old school.
Yeah. Old school hip hop and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he likes like Biggie. He likes Tupac. He thinks Hit 'Em Up is the best diss track of all time. I was like, man, I shouldn't have let you hear that.
It's
but
hard
okay.
to not agree though. It's hard.
Yeah, and he's like, he likes Prince, 1999. He loves dancehall music.
What?
He
Motown?
no, dancehall music. Like Elephant Man, like Beanie Man, and all that stuff. He loves all that, the Murder, She Wrote, that shit. Murder, She Wrote, Murder, She Wrote. He loves that type of music. But he likes all kinds of music, and then his friends are like, well, have you heard of... Well, I haven't heard that song. That's weird. And he's like, hey, man, you guys are missing out. You guys are too cool to be kids. That's fine, but I'm having a childhood. Good luck with whatever the hell you guys are doing. And that's it.
Good luck with your followers.
Yeah. He's like, I don't give a fuck about followers.
Fuck the follower. I'm not on any of that shit, dude.
I know you. Still,
I wouldn't even do a podcast if it wasn't for you. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I laugh, bro, because one day I picture you one day going, I did it. I'm gonna get a text like, what's up? What happened? I finally got a MySpace profile.
Face.
Face. You're like, what the fuck is that? Oh, I don't know.
Got scammed.
Yeah, it's like I gave them my what's it called?
I gave them my social. That's all they needed.
Yeah, I logged into MySpace with my social and my credit card number. I don't want to even tell him because that's progress, but fuck.
I tried. It's effort, yo.
Yeah. Oh, this is just hilarious, bro.
No, if I'm out of it, I mean, I'm all for it, whatever. But then you hear these fucking 10-year-old kids reviewing toys making $26 million.
I know.
On YouTube. Fuck.
That's bullshit.
No, I mean, whatever. It's good for them. Whatever. They beat the system, right? But fuck, yo.
I guess.
Anyways.
I see a bunch of shit and I was like, man.
This is old man rambling.
No, it's not even that. We just came up on, hey, guess what? If the world not ended tomorrow, but let's say they dropped the fucking...
So Trump is impeached as of this recording. So when he pushes that button and then North Korea retaliates, okay, what happens?
Yeah, no. when they drop that fucking bomb that makes podcasts and smartphones and smartwatches and everything obsolete.
Oh, you mean freedom of speech?
We're good.
Yeah.
We're good because we didn't. It's funny because there's people that are arguing with people that are across the country, and they're really pressed about it, and you're like, man, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, because if you were here, I'd punch you in the face. It doesn't mean anything. The Broadband Bloods and Cyber Cribs, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a guy that was talking shit, that was talking wild to me over the internet, and I go, man, I'm like, you forget, I'm like, we're not from this generation. I'm like, I know where your mom lives. And he blocked me. And I laugh. I'm like, yeah, now you remember, bro. I'm not one of these guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, I go knock at your door right now and slap the fucking the smartphone out your hand, bro. I'm like, don't play with me like that. He hasn't talked to me since. I'm like, good. I'm not one of those guys in fucking Ohio, bro, or in the middle in fucking Kansas that you ain't never gonna run into. I'm gonna run into you and beat your ass, bro.
Well, you know, every generation thinks they're the best generation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our parents walked through snow 10 miles to get to school. Before that, they all fought in wars. They all got selected.
You want to know what I blame my I want to blame them, but not really. Our generation making the generation after us pussies, bro.
The mumble rap?
No.
No, but again, it wasn't okay.
We
Sure.
got our asses beat for no reason at all.
Right.
It was like, oh, you didn't do your homework, and then you caught that fade, right?
With your parents.
Yeah, your parents.
Right, let's get this right. Yeah, your parents.
Our parents, right? And so that happened. So then, a lot of our people, our fellow peers, grew up, had kids, and they're like, oh no, I'm not gonna beat them. I'm not gonna be like my parents. Like, no, I'm gonna smack the shit out of my son.
But that's a good question. Now that we have kids, you know, how do you discipline them? Because you want them to have a better life.
I look,
right?
I don't agree with a lot of shit that my son's mom.
And I'm with you. Whatever you're gonna say, I'm with you. I don't agree with her either.
Yeah, we're at odds. We're at odds all the time. But the one thing we agree on is we agree that we will slap the taste out of our kid's mouth. Okay. Because I know that out of the 20 ass whoopings and 30 ass whoopings that I got from my dad in 1 year, one of them saved my life. One of them, bro. It was that one that was necessary. And so...
my whoopings came from the street.
Yeah, and I tell my son, I'm like, hey, the one time your mom slapped the taste out your mouth, it'll save your life, mijo, because that way you'll learn not to say shit, not to do stupid shit, not to say stupid shit, or you're going to learn to be more diligent about what you're, you know, or about what you're doing, you know? Yeah. And you're going to remember to not speak crazy to anybody. Because people are like, in the computer, like, oh, fuck you all. I'll fuck your mom and your grandma and fuck your kid and all this other stuff. And it's like, you're never going to run into that person, so you say all this wild shit. Our generation was, if I tell you, man, fuck you and your mom, I know I'm going to run into you on the block. And if I can't knock you the fuck out, you're going to stomp me the fuck out. So I watch what I said.
I remember I got a call, a landline on my home.
Oh, yeah.
And who was it? Who was it? You know the story.
Yeah, Edward drove.
It starts with you, right? You go.
Yeah. Okay, so before we end the podcast, we gotta tell the story because it's hilarious, right? So we used to have our street football team, right? Yeah. And the only reason why we weren't the varsity team in high school is because we didn't have the grades because we never really showed up to school.
Right.
Like most of us. So the best players, the people that were on the football team weren't the best players. The best players were the ones who were benched for not having good enough grades or that didn't stay on the team because we just didn't fucking show up to school, right? So you had a reputation aside from whipping everyone's ass, you had a reputation of being one of the greats in street football.
Oh,
right?
pretty damn good, yeah.
So there was this guy. He had just made the football team, right? And he's like, "Yeah, you know, I'm the fucking man." And they told him he was trying to impress this girl, right? Mm-hmm. So I think maybe I got him into this shit. I mean,
you built up the hype.
In hindsight, I think I
He baited him.
No, I set him up, maybe. But I didn't feel that way at the time, right?
Yeah.
So he goes and he's talking all this shit about how he can crack anybody. Crack means, you know, like
go
heads up, you run into each other, and he'll knock anybody the fuck down. He was the fucking man, right? Supposedly. So he's, you know, boasting to this girl, and I guess he got kind of annoying to me. So I turn around and I go, "You can't crack devil." And I laugh, and this motherfucker goes, "Hey man, I'll beat anybody, I'll crack anybody, I don't give a fuck." And the thing was, your name held weight. Every time, anytime everybody knew who the fuck you were, who the fuck, you know, we were fucking cousins, and you were family, and so people were like, "Oh shit." And somebody in that class, other than me, knew who you were. A couple of people knew who you were. And they were like, "Oh, for real? You can crack devil? Fuck yeah, I beat anybody. You know, talking shit like Muhammad Ali. Sure. I'm the greatest of all time. I knock anybody. I knock anybody down. And he's a fucking bomb, other shit, right?" And so I go, "All right, cool."
Yeah.
So then somebody, I guess, got in his ear and went,
"That is,
bro. You know who you just said you'd fucking you would fucking own? I don't give a nah, bro. Devil. Huh?" A lot of his homies went and go, "Yo, I think he looked at his mom. He asked his mom, can I crack devil?" And his own mom went, "Nah. You on your own, baby, because I ain't trying to get shot up or beat or anything. Daddy, no, you ain't shit, son. I got my money on devil." So everybody told him this. So for some reason, it got all hyped up to where people started saying, not only did he say he would crack you, he would fuck you up.
Fuck me up, yeah.
So they started exaggerating it. And by the end of the day, word on the street was, he said, "Fuck devil, I'ma stomp him out. I can stomp him out," right? So
that's what I heard, yo. That's what I heard.
So this motherfucker in sixth period goes up to me and goes, I'm trying to talk to a girl, and I've been staking out for a while, and I'm trying to talk to her, and I'm putting in my 10,000 hours, you know, to get with her and shit, right? So he goes, yo, I need to talk to you. Hey, bro, I'm kind of busy right now, bro. Chill. Like a fucking crackhead. Hey, come on, baby. I need to talk to you. I was relaxed, bro. I'm talking to the girl. I'll talk to you right now. Nah, what the fuck do you want, bro? What? He goes, you're Devil's cousin, right? Yeah, why? Look, man, I need you to talk to him. You gotta tell him that I didn't say this shit. What the fuck did you say? Yeah, now some people were saying that, you know, I said I was gonna fuck him up. I'm like, yeah, you said you gotta crack him. Yeah. Nah, I was fucking around, bro. Nah, come on. I was like, chill. I'll talk to him. No. I need to tell him. I need to clear it up with him. Relax, bro. I'm trying to talk to the girl. He won't fucking leave me alone. So I was like, he's like, no. Do you have his number? I'm like, I wrote your number down, and I go, here. Cool, man. You call him, bro. You call him. I'll put in a good word for it and say it's bullshit. I keep talking to the girl, and then, what was that? I think like a couple of days later, you're like, hey, bro, did you give my number to somebody? Who the fuck did you give my number to?
I was laughing because that's exactly how that food sounded. He's like, hey, yo, I didn't disrespect this.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this?
You're like, mama? You're trying to figure out who the fuck is this?
Yeah, no, this is all fucking real. I mean, I didn't go to school much, right? So
yeah, and that too. Yeah, like, where's he at, man? I don't think he's. I don't think he's here today. Oh, that's what happened. He wanted to talk to you. He wanted me to go with him to talk to you.
Yeah.
And then since you weren't at school, he's like, no, I need his number. Can you give me his number? I gave him your number, bro.
And I just happened to be home again. This is before cell phones and all that shit. So he called me at home, and I happened to be there. I'm like, all right.
Hello?
Look at this.
Oh, shit. I remember you were laughing. You're like, bro, don't give my number out to anybody. So we're cool, right? We're cool?
We're cool.
That motherfucker was shook to this day. I think he's still shook, bro. I think he DM'd you and he was like, we're still cool. Oh, that shit was funny.
That's a true story, though. That's serious.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious. Man, we got a bunch of stories, but you know, we got to do this again, but with Smoke. I got to do one with Smokey.
I think we need to get a couple of the crew together.
Yeah.
Smokey, of course.
Hey, you know, what's his name? Has anybody heard from him?
Who that?
Chucks?
Oh, Chucky's locked up.
He's locked up again?
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
No, he's a 3-striker. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He's not in for the hell. Right?
No, for life. It's not
20?
drug offenses or anything
20?
like that, but it's a 3-striker guy.
That's what, 20?
I mean, I don't know what that is.
I hope that's not 20. I hope that's like, I didn't even want to say 5, bro, but fuck.
Oh, no, he's in there for a while, bro.
Fuck, man.
But honestly, you know, disrespect to Chucky. I mean, you know, he went one way, we went the other, and he's safer and better in there.
Yeah, honestly,
and, you know, we have friends like that, and that's how it is.
You know, for Chucky is, I always get fucking angry because I always tell him, bro, I'm like, bro, you have so much fucking talent.
I thought he was
like,
a sociopath, though. That fucking guy, man. You know, people that think big are good, or they're good, but when you think big in the wrong field, yeah, it can get you, you know.
Yeah, you know what one of the saddest shit is though? I think we were celebrating Floyd's birthday, I think, and then we were all there, and then.
At the house or what?
No, we were out. I think we were at Buffalo Wild Wings or some shit like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, we were there, and then he shows up with a stolen car with fucking cocaine or crack, and he's handing out money. It's like, motherfucker, you just got out this morning. How the fuck do you have like fucking $2-3 grand, bro? He had a stolen car, he had a gun, he had drugs and money. I was like, fuck, bro. Yeah. And then we were sitting there like we always do, you know, we're reminiscing. Everybody was talking about stuff. And I see him just kind of space out of it, trying to figure it out. And then he tells me, he goes, bro, I just realized something. I'm like, what's that? He goes, I don't have any stories with you guys. He's like, I just realized I spent the majority of my 20s in jail. Mm-hmm. And that shit hurt. I looked at him and I could tell that fucked with him. But that shit hurt my heart too, bro. Because it's like, damn. Like
we grew up.
Yeah, like.
Together, yeah.
It was like the last time we saw you, you were a kid. We were 19, we were 18, 19 years old, and now we saw you on and off, but now we're standing here looking at each other, and you're 28, 29 years old. Yeah. We're already in our we were about to start getting into our 30s.
Yeah, we should be grown. But...
Yeah, and this fool missed out on this whole thing, and it's like the last time he went in. You had one kid, I didn't have any kids, and we were just starting shit, and then the next time we see him, it's like, you have a kid, you have another kid, I have a kid, we're working, and then when he comes out again, he goes in and comes out again, I have 2 kids, you have 2 kids, you know, you've moved up in the company, I'm somewhere else, I was with my baby's mom, and it's like, what the fuck, like, where did time go?
I think that fucks with me is, you know, you grow up, he never left the life, right? So then he has little kids working for him. It's like, you know, he worked 30, you know, and he has like little fucking 10, 12-year-olds working for him. I was like, oh, fuck, that's what, you know, that's...
Yeah, and then...
That was our life. that's what was us.
Yeah, and then and the thing is, like, you see, like, your kid's around that age, you know?
Yeah, but, you know, I think I did okay. My kids, they don't know. Fuck, when I was their age... And I tell my wife this, fool, we can go back and forth. When we were your age, fool, we've been shot at, we were stabbed. I had fucking holes in me if you're older than you. You know?
Yeah. I always laugh. I always laugh at this shit. Well, I always tell my baby mama. I've told my son too this shit because he goes, "You've been shot." I'm like, "Yeah," but the funny thing is, I never got hit until it was years that I had fucking been around the streets or anything. I was coming out of a fucking 24-hour fitness, bro. I had my gym bag. My mind was nothing anywhere, nothing near. And someone tried to steal from me. Someone tried to jack me. I was like, cool, take my gym bag. All you got is dirty ass sweaty ass fucking towel and my clothes and shit. Knock yourself out. Shit. And I ended up get into a fight with three. I think it was three. Yeah, three of them. One of them initially tried to rob me. I punched him. Another guy got out the car. I punched him. So I'm fighting two of them. The driver gets out, starts rushing me, but I see he's pulling something out. So I how we were taught: punch, grab, throw, and then you grab one, you punch him, and then you toss him. So you never get cornered.
Remember,
I locked with this fool, and the gun goes off, pa pa, twice. One hit my arm, the other one just fucking whizzed by me. I punch him in the face. I run, I hop in my car, and I dip.
Yeah.
And it's like, that shit happened to me while getting out the gym.
Fuck for real, man. I mean, yeah, it's fucking random shit, man.
Yeah, and you're like, really? Like, that's weird.
I'm gonna choke on my vomit or something one day.
Yeah.
With my luck. Nah, man, but it sucks. You know, I think a lot of us grew up and got out of that life. Eventually, you know, we're not mature. We're fucking immature as fuck, yo. And that's fine. That's I think that's a good way to live. You know, whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
you make fun of death. You make fun of everything. I mean, what's wrong with that?
I think we made the best that we could out of the situation that we came up in.
Well, now we have. I think growing up, we went through the motions. We went with it. You know?
I tell the last person I had on here was Alvin, right? And he was talking about how all the shit we went through, and I tell him, I'm like, dude, it wasn't that we were fucking John Wick and Rambo and we knew what the fuck we were doing.
We weren't looking for shit.
We got lucky, bro. We got lucky. We got out there alive because to be honest with you, anybody could have gotten it at that point.
I mean, the homeboy Menace is a white boy, you know, innocent guy. He crackhead, but innocent guy. You know, he was running. They were smoking out, and he heard a siren, a cop siren, right? The police siren. So he started running away. He ran down a hill through an alley. He tripped, broke his neck. And that was him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just shit, man. It's just shit that happens, man.
Yeah,
I know where I was going with that, but
nah.
But
cool.
I mean,
so it's 2 hours. So I think we're gonna cut it off here.
So this has been another episode of Life as It Happens. This is episode 2 for season 3, the Boys in the Hood issue. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Peace.